Now on Bloomberg Intelligence, Munis in Focus.
All right, today's Focus on Munis is brought to you by BAM Mutual. Put America's strength to work in your portfolio with BAM Insured Municipal Bonds. Protect your investments with an added layer of security and guaranteed income. Invest with strength. Build a stronger tomorrow with BAM Mutual. Let's talk municipal bonds because, hey, it's Friday. That's what we do. And we check in with Eric Kazatsky, Managing Director, Client Portfolio Manager, Mackay Municipal Managers. He's down there in Princeton, New Jersey. Eric, talk to us about kind of the performance year to date in your municipal bond market, because, boy, there's been some turmoil in financial markets over the last three and a half weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, and thanks for having me. Well, the last time we spoke, Paul, munis were off to their best start in probably 6 or 7 years. They delivered about 52% of 20-year average returns in the first 2 months. Obviously, March has been a much different story. We're down about 140 basis points this month. I think where the story is now going to go for munis is we went from an absolute value story to a relative value story, and we're solidly outperforming, most other areas of fixed income right now.
So what's been the impact from the geopolitical volatility, the rise in yields overall? The 2-year yield, the 10-year yield are both now at the highest since July.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you think about it from an opportunity set standpoint, investors have sort of this second bite at the apple because rates are higher. I know for the muni market, a lot of people missed out on the meaningful rally probably the last 4 or 5 months in 2025. So we now have a backup of about 25 to 30 basis points along the AAA municipal curve. On a tax-adjusted basis, those yields and those rates are looking quite interesting again.
So what have we seen? I know one of the key themes over the last couple of years and expected to even accelerate again this year in the municipal bond market is new issuance. So how's that playing out in a world where, boy, there's a war out there and there's volatility? Yeah. What's that mean?
I mean, it's seemingly unaffected, right? So right now, we're about $110 billion on the new issue side year to date. That's about a 5% year-over-year growth. Now, you would think that we'd probably see a drop-off in some of the new supply coming onto the calendar with just the backup in rates alone. Forget about the geopolitical volatility that's going on, but we really haven't seen a lot of deals moving off the calendar, which is very, very positive. In fact, I would say, if anything, the market has been behaving pretty orderly given the backup in rates.
What do we tend to see historically in moments of geopolitical volatility and rates going haywire? Do issuers start to hold off on coming out with new supply, or do they, they have to move because they need the money?
But that's exactly right, Scarlett, right? They have financing plans in place that they've already gone from bond ballot and have approval. So there's things that are in motion. Now, look, if you were trying to do an economic refunding and all of a sudden rates really move against you, that's a totally different story. But that's just a smaller portion of our market now. So look, I mean, if we keep ticking higher, could you see some things on the margin fall off the calendar? Sure. But by far and large, like to your point, they still need the money and they still need to finance and they still get to do it in the tax exempt side of the market, which does still save them money.
So, Eric, one of the concerns I think in the marketplace over the last 3 to 4 weeks is perhaps this war may result in some higher inflationary pressures out there. How do municipal bonds tend to perform, I guess, in an inflation environment?
Yeah, I mean, historically speaking, they tend to outperform. And again, look, munis are an uncorrelated asset class. You want something in your portfolio that's going to really be sort of this differentiating ballast. And munis are really checking that box right now, both on the taxable muni side and the tax exempt muni side. If we look periods of like higher inflation in the 80s and 90s, munis have actually outperformed not only corporate fixed income, but also many areas of the equity market as well. So pretty reassuring on a relative basis.
All right, Eric, thanks so much. Appreciate it. As always, that is our daily dose of the municipal bond market. And if you live in a high tax state like I do, boy, munis make a lot of sense. Eric Kazatsky, Managing Director and Client Portfolio Manager, Mackay Municipal Managers.
Put America's strength to work in your portfolio with BAM Insured Municipal Bonds. Protect your investments with an added layer of security and guaranteed income. Invest with strength. Build a stronger tomorrow with BAM Mutual.